Okay, this means warp. A little bit FTL meets Pulsar, but 2D? Just gonna rush through a thing here. You can choose your ship and scenario. 2 ships are available, different sets of scenarios for each ship. Just gonna stick with the default and run through it quickly. I believe that there are 5 difficulty levels. You can't unlock the 4th and after until you've beaten the 3rd difficulty level, and that's not likely, shall we say. Probably not likely to do well on normal, for that matter. So, character selection. They have some starting skills. Bob with a balanced 1-1-1. This way, yeah. Ants 0-2-1, so on, so forth. But speed is quite important, so I tend to take the character that starts with 3 speed. Especially on a solo game when you start without crew, it's important to be able to move around your ship quickly. Welcome to the ship. This here is the helm. This is where you move the ship on a grid that is the sector. Crossed swords is a combat. This is a repair kit dispenser. So you grab repair kits and use those to fix things. Ammunition dispenser. After you take one out, it respawns up to a certain number. There can be 4 repair kits and 2 bits of ammunition on the floor. In the event you need to leave the ship, there are suit dispensers and airlocks. Mostly you only leave the ship for bonus situations. Things you leave on the ground without interacting with them for a little while will disintegrate. Different weapons behave differently. This one you have to charge up for a little while before you're able to shoot. And you can eject your foes into space by shooting out the walls adjacent to them, which is terribly helpful, because if they don't have a person to operate their guns, well, they're a little helpless, ain't they? Win a combat, get a loot box, most of the time. In this case, I have received a health orb, which goes in the garbage disposal. And cooldown orb goes over here. So ammunition will now be produced faster, and by and large, taking up orb slots on devices with health increases is usually the worst option. You typically want damage cooldown, or armor. Where I go running into a combat without crew to assist, I'm just gonna stage ammunition. Get my gun ready to fire. And goodbye. Out the airlock with you. Destroy their ammunition source, because I don't want them to shoot us. Enemy weapons start unloaded until they get ammunition from their ammo box. AI generally follows all the same rules that players do. Generally. They can have more crew, they can have more ships, they can have bigger ships, they can have more guns. But at least the basic physics of things stays the same. So, damage orb. More damage for the guns. I'll keep it balanced. Ish. So up here I can get another crew member at random. Who will it be? Either Shin or Nob Nob. Shin's really slow, speed is kind of important for the AI, so I'm going to grab Nob Nob, even though he's much worse at repair. He's going to be able to carry bombs to the incinerator much faster. AI often makes stupid decisions with guns and ammunition. I'm just going to take him off of that, but he can run repairs, bomb disposal, and defensive systems if I get any. Set the ship to coast into battle, get the gun ready. Sink a crew. Sink a crew. Deny ammunition. Forbid travel from their respawn point to their repair facilities. You can force those broken doors open. What this means is I get to sink both of them. You can tell I've done this a few times. The difficulty in the first sector is very, very low, which is the only reason this is going so incredibly one-sidedly. Health orb. Goes in the incinerator for money. Damage orb. Ha! Loot! Shield and anti-fizz versus a burst laser and teleporter. Really hard to argue with a shield and anti-fizz. The main name of the game here is don't die, more so than kill them. And these things will very much assist in that endeavor. Anti-physical turret will intercept things like missiles and physical projectiles like railgun shells. The shield can intercept anything, but it is limited duration, limited efficacy. Just interact with my bullets before they disintegrate. Moving on. Okay, nothing further down that way. Further up that way. Onward into the combat. Why they have an invisibility buff, but invisible or not, they still get spaced. Cooldown orb. Let's throw that on the shield. Another cooldown orb. Throw that also on the shield. Shield is good because shield can block energy projectiles as well as physical. It's also very useful for special events like going through asteroid fields. For some odd reason, the anti-fizz does not shoot asteroids out of the sky. Okay, and because this is the first sector, we're already at the first boss. I'm not entirely sure what's boss-like about this encounter, but it's the first boss. I'm not going to be able to break that, just deny the additional ammunition. That thing opening and closing on the right hand there is a critical hit spot. If one has the presence of mind and the opportunity to shoot it, great, but I'm not holding my breath on that. So just doing everything I can to make their crew not able to actually do things. I'm gonna kill it after this boss fight. This is basically the gameplay loop. Maneuver around a sector until you reach the boss. You get loot on your way, and you kill the boss, move on to the next sector. There are only ever 4 sectors. You can beat the game in about anywhere between an hour and a half to 3 hours. 3 hours if you're particularly slow. If I had more crew members, this could be going a lot faster, operating both guns, but it is what it is. Ah, total whiff on that crit. Quick, Nob Nob, use the shield! Victory! Ah yes, you will occasionally level up and you can enhance one of your skills. The bot characters select their skills more or less at random. Health orb goes in the health hole. Damage can... You know what, I shouldn't really install any upgrades, because after the boss is a shop. Except the hull upgrade. The hull upgrade is always safe to install. After every boss, you get a translator thing that translates some of the Norg language, the people whom we are fighting. Before you go to the shop, you have to choose which modifier you're going to have to deal with in the next sector. In this case, fire starting randomly across all ships, which is absolutely horrible and horrifying. Or the defensive district, where enemy ships have one defensive turret, that's fine. A minor inconvenience at best. Now, unfortunately, this game is not exactly drop-in, drop-out multiplayer. If you start a multiplayer game with 4 players, then people can drop out and drop in. But if you start with fewer than that, you know, you can only go up to as many players as you started the thing with. So here we are at the shop. Thus begins the shop loop. Damage orb, probably going to use that. Translator, we don't need to know what our enemies are saying. Program. This is an instant respawn program that, well, you can read it, but, not a fan. We're probably going to want to try to sell that to the shop. What do I got? I got $780, as you can see on my portrait, up in the top center left. Nordic Charge Laser, green quality, 9 health, 0.5 armor, that's the tiny number in the blue, 4 rounds fired, at 0.9 damage a shot, and that little broken heart icon at the rightmost here is the indicator that this is a weakened weapon, which means it applies weakened stacks, which cause attacks on that location to take more damage. Weakened stacks up to 9 times. Not a big fan of that. Move speed buff garbage, instant respawn garbage, so we use our first reroll for $0. Anything better? First laser. 12 rounds at 0.5, not great. Overheat recovery, kind of okay. Repair bot would be a good thing to have. Let's go ahead and grab that. This averages out to 6 damage over the course of fire. It's not ideal, but let's grab it. If we get a better option, we can sell it back. Heater laser, that's 18 at 0.4. 12 at 0.5. I think the repeater wins out in that calculation. I don't want to get a calculator out. I'm just going to assume that it does. So grab that, sell that back. Got $390 left. Cost me $100 to reroll the shop again. This is an ammo bot that will automatically supply ammunition to a gun that needs it. Kind of a waste of your ship customization slot. Bomb timers, faster countdown on bombs you throw onto the enemy ship. Bombs can be good, not going to be using them. So reroll, hope for something good. 9 at 0.6. There's your damage bomb. Bombs are an AoE. That'll hit a bunch of targets around it for that 3.1 damage. It could conceivably do about 10 plus damage if it lands in a good spot and the enemy AIs don't carry it off and throw it in their incinerator before it detonates. They're very good at doing that. Ricochet damage, not using ricochet weapons, so don't need that. And at the end of the day, this information is not important. Take that, just for the sake of it being done sooner. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna upgrade the bottom gun, and all of the orbs that were on the bottom gun fly off. And I will go ahead and reapply them. So 9 at 0.8. I think that comes out to 8.1. I never bought a program, so I'm going to hold on to this program to sell it to the next shop when I buy a program there. Maybe. Go install the repair bot. As you can see, it highlights where you can install things. There's 2 slots here in the back row, 2 slots here in the ammunition room, and there is a slot up here at the helm. You can freely swap things out when you get a new thing, but once something is installed, you can't pick it up again. and replacing a thing makes that thing disappear. So, once you've installed things, no rearranging. And even if you have an open spot here, you can't take something, replace, say, the anti-fizz turret back here, and move the anti-fizz turret up to the front. Once you replace the anti-fizz turret goes poof. And so here we are at the start of the second sector. I suppose I will do a single combat over here before I kill the stream. God, it's already 20 minutes. Jeez. And as you progress through the sectors, of course, things get more difficult. You'll see enemy components have a lot more health than they did before. That gun has overheated. Damn it, Nob Nob. Nob Nob is not keeping up with damage on the ship. If you don't repair something promptly, you take permanent damage. You can repair the object, but your hull points remain reduced. This is a very slow-firing rapid laser. Not terribly pleased with it. He's just gonna knock that out. Nob Nob will get around to repairing that eventually. Oh, the repair bot. Yeah. There you go. Gameplay loop continues. And that's that. I'll kill the stream there. There's your idea of how this game goes.